We've got a new mummy, guys. Let's talk about it. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Okay, let's just get right to it. A Nazca mummy update. The Ankari Institute, led by Thierry Jaman, has released new images of a non-human body discovered in a diatomaceous cave near the Nazca lines. The bodies have a white covering from the diatomaceous earth and cadmium chloride used for preservation. Named Earl, this discovery was showcased during Mexico's second UFO hearing. So not a brand new mummy, but one that we are just seeing new images of for the first time. His name is Earl, or its name is Earl. We don't actually have a gender for this being yet. But another amazing Nazca mummy specimen that they are now talking about and discussing the research on. So let's just go right to the website. That's the alienproject.com. And this is Earl. Features: species hybrid, sex undetermined, height 1 meter, a little bit over a meter. Hands of 20 centimeters with 3 fingers of 4 phalanges. 14 centimeter feet with 3 toes and 3 phalanges. Hands and feet with extended nails, so that he did have fingernails, or it did have fingernails. Absence of hair and facial hair. Absence of ear, but presence of ear canals. Absence of nose and nasal passage. Small, slightly half-open mouth, 3 centimeters wide. Absence of teeth, but marks on the lower mandible, which may indicate their presence in the past. So no teeth, but he may have had teeth at some point. Very intriguing, guys. And there's also more going on other than just Earl. Joyce Mantilla says, what if I told you that a team of scientists from Canada is finding the techno-signature that can prove Maria's quadruple hybridization? Genetic engineering 1800 years ago. Would that qualify as a bomb for world science? Stay tuned. I will be staying tuned. I love that. Yeah, my mind is blown. Genetic engineering among the Nazca mummies thousands of years ago. I mean, what else could explain all the species or subspecies that we're seeing? They have, almost all of them, except for one in Mexico, have this tridactyl template that they're using, or, if you want to call it that. But within that template are so many variations, even variations as to reproduction. It's so crazy. I mean, we have the small egg-laying beings. Then we have Montserrat, who's large and would have delivered a live birth. And now we have evidence from Maria. There are a couple of scientists that believe she may have been self-reproducing. Hermaphroditic being that was self-reproducing. Even though the DNA seems to indicate she's female, she may have actually been hermaphroditic. If this is true, and this is just, preliminary so far on Maria, but if this is true, this is 3 separate modes of reproduction among the Nazca beings. That's crazy. So they have different sizes, they have different physiologies, different modes of reproduction. That is wild, guys. I mean, what else other than genetic engineering could explain that? I mean, if you have any theories, let me know. But some of the new research on Maria indicates that she doesn't have a navel or teats. So anyway, of course that makes sense if she's more reptilian or bird-like. If she's not mammalian, then she wouldn't have those features. But if she doesn't have a navel, does that mean she hatched from an egg? Let me know if you think that means she hatched from an egg in the comments below. Meanwhile, on that UFO podcast, Will Gallison, in a recent interview, a great interview, he has some really good points, and here is one of them.
And we're talking about this tissue, I didn't mention before, is 2,000 years old, because this is coming from Maria. And that was dated from any point you wanted to take at 2,000 years old, or almost 2,000 years old. Which brings up another point, that if Maria was mummified 2,000 years ago and these little ones were mummified 1,000 years ago, that in my mind indicates that there was an ongoing enterprise between 2001 and 1,000 years old. 1,000 years ago, it's like if you found a cemetery where there were graves from Greek times and graves from modern times. It's unusual that any kind of mortuary would contain things from that, especially such unusual ones. So that's another mystery, of course.
Yeah, it's a mystery because, I mean, it's obviously a mystery, but one really intriguing aspect of that was that the beings, the Nazca beings, seem to have been mummified by humans. So if they were mummifying mummifying beings 1,000 years apart, that indicates a long-standing interaction between the Nazca beings and the human peoples of the time. Meanwhile, Twitter channel Tridactyls plugged the recent studies of the beings into an AI program, and this is what the AI program had to say after going through all these items in the report: facial features, absence of hair and ears, there's tridactyl, spinal differences, etc. Okay, so here's what the conclusion that the AI reached. The journal report challenges the earlier skepticism and provides robust scientific evidence that supports the hypothesis of a potentially new humanoid species. Further research and validation are essential to confirm these findings and fully understand the implications of this discovery. And there you go. There is Maria, the being who may or may not have been hermaphroditic, but it looks at this point like Maria, the human-sized Maria, may have hatched from an egg. At least that's my take, but let me know your take in the comments below. Meanwhile, Gonzalo Chavez has this post: U.S. disclosure activists or journalists have not reported or discussed at all regarding disclosure happening in Latin America. Since September 2023, 3 new non-human corpses discovered. 2, $300 million lawsuit announced. 3, $300 million lawsuit now in the process of being won. 4, a museum is being discussed to be built. 5, Ministry of Culture visit the university for the first time after 7 years. 6, Ministry of Culture raided a press conference live during broadcast. 7, American forensic team with recent Gradwell winner stating the bodies are real specimens. Of course, that's John McDowell, Dr. John McDowell, who won the equivalent of the Nobel Prize, the Gradwell Prize of forensic science, saying in his preliminary assessment of Maria that she is a genuine tridactyl being, not a manipulated human body, a non-human body. 8, first peer-reviewed paper on non-human bodies out in human history. I know, I love that. We've got a peer-reviewed scientific paper on non-humans, and this isn't the breaking news around the world, front page news everywhere. I mean, what's the deal, guys? This is ridiculous. It comes from South America, so we're not going to cover it. This is heartbreaking, but so frustrating. But we are making strides. We are definitely making strides. 9, video of Ryan Graves being briefed that non-human bodies were going to be presented, contradicting his tweets. Well, I mean, I'm not going to be too hard on Ryan. Yes, he was told beforehand that the bodies would be presented, but that doesn't mean that he was really on board with the bodies, and he very likely saw that as a distraction from the more mainstream UFO disclosure that he was trying to accomplish, talking about pilots interacting with these objects in the sky. I totally understand his concerns, but at the same time, we've got bodies, y'all. We've got bodies. But more than bodies, there might actually be living beings, as evidenced by the Siberian body and various others. If the Atacama being was real, that was a recent living being. I mean, it was real. It wasn't a hoax. Whether it was human or inhuman is the question. Gary Nolan publicly came out with one response, but privately he was saying something different. So is his private response, the more accurate portrayal of the situation? If so, does the Atacama mummy have any bearing on any of the other tiny non-humans found around the world, like the one in Russia? Because some of those are very recent. and there are ongoing stories from the locals in South America of small beings going into caves still to this day, coming and going from some subterranean place. So are the Nazca beings still around? Well, Gonzalo Chavez is talking about a subterranean city that is now being revealed. In an interview with that person, Julio Dwarvish, a pilot who testified during the Mexico UFO hearing, revealed that there is a hidden subterranean city in Tiwanaku, Bolivia. He mentioned that this discovery, not yet public, and in the process of coming to light. And you can listen to this video and hear him talk about all of this. Now, this may simply be an underground human civilization or something like that, but who knows? And if there were humans living underground, why? And did they have any interactions with beings that were, non-humans that may have been living underground? I can't wait to hear more about this underground civilization that may have existed in Bolivia. As Gonzalo Chavez says, Latin American UFO disclosure is a perfect example of how aliens, quote unquote, can be available for research at a university for over 200 days, undergo a peer review process confirming it's a non-human specimen, and still be ignored by the world scientific community and media. So there you go, guys. That's what's going on with the Nazca mummies. We've got bodies, y'all. We've got bodies, and they are being studied. We have gotten UFO disclosure. I don't think they ultimately came from here, or whoever created them ultimately came from here. But, who knows? Maybe they originated here on this planet. They evolved from birds or reptiles or something like that. But if they did, guys, that is the biggest gap in the fossil record of all time. So, yeah, I don't think their ultimate origins are from here. But who knows? Maybe ours aren't either. Let me know your thoughts on it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure would appreciate it. Smash the like button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member, because channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Also, channel members frequently get to see videos hours ahead of everybody else. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.